The Syrian Arab Army restores security to the city of Kassab in Latakia countryside, eliminating large numbers of terrorists and destroying their weapons. A nationwide polio vaccination campaign is launched. Releasing 91 inmates in implementation of the legislative decree number 22 for the year 2014, stipulating for a general amnesty granted for the crimes committed before the 19th of June 2014. Western countries block a UN Security Council resolution proposed by Russia to condemn the attack on the Russian embassy in the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. Good afternoon, welcome to our news bulletin. I'm Dania Nizam. President of Armenia, Serge Sarkisyan, sent a cable to President Bashar al-Assad congratulating him on his victory in recent presidential elections. President Sarkisyan wished the Syrian more prosperity and peace and affirmed keen interest in bolstering and deepening bilateral relations between Syria and Armenia. President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, sent a cable to President Bashar al-Assad congratulating him for his victory in recent presidential elections. Lukashenko expressed confidence that Syria will emerge victorious from the current crisis by its efforts in combating terrorism. In Latakia, the Syrian Arab Army units, in cooperation with the civil defense forces, restored security and stability to the city of Kasab, eliminating the last gatherings of the terrorists in the area and destroying their weapons. Meanwhile, Syrian Arab Army units' engineering units have started dismantling the landmines and defusing the explosive devices which were planted by the armed terrorist groups in the city of Kasab. In Idlib, Syrian Arab Army units foiled an infiltration attempt by an armed terrorist group that tried to sneak into the secure areas around the city from the side of the College of Agriculture, killing a large number of the terrorists. In Hom's countryside, Syrian Arab Army units restored security and stability to the village of Sharshouh and the adjacent farms in the countryside after eliminating terrorist groups. A military source said that the Syrian Arab Army units targeted also terrorist gatherings in Taldo, Al-Rastan, Kassin, Al-Ghajar, Al-Amiriya, Ain Hussein, Al-Tiba, Al-Samalil and Khan al-Shawish in Hom's countryside and eliminated a number of terrorists, destroying their criminal tools. In Deir ez-Zor, units of the Criminal Security Department seized a large quantity of stolen items, including several electrical sets and tools, arresting the leader of the robbing network as well as all its members. In Aleppo, the Interior Ministry, the Criminal Security Department, shut down Al-Kazara shop in Al-Aziziyah area, which was engaged in exchanging money without license. Attorney General of Hama Province, Ayman Dakak, stressed that 130 inmates have been released pursuant to the legislative decree number 22 for the year 2014, which provided a general amnesty on crimes committed before June 9, 2014. Attorney General clarified that the decree is an opportunity for inmates to go back to their normal life and play their role in society. Governor of Idlib Province, Safwan Abu Sadi, pointed out the role of the decree in bolstering the positive and moral values, being a turning point in the life of the inmates who were included in the decree. Meanwhile, Attorney General of Deir ez-Zor Province, Kamal Daghir, stressed that 46 inmates have been released from the central prison of Deir ez-Zor pursuant to the amnesty decree. Governor of Latakia, Ahmed Sheikh Abdul Qadir, stressed that the inmates have been released in implementation of the legislative decree number 22 for the year 2014, which provided a general amnesty on crimes committed before June 9, 2014. The governor pointed out during a meeting with the released inmates to the decree's role, as it is a turning point in their lives, to go back to their normal lives. He asserted the governorate readiness to give them the possible help to start a new life. 6 Iraqis were killed, including 3 soldiers, due to a terrorist's attack against the volunteering Center for Fighting Terrorism against what is called the Organization of the Islamic State of Iraq in Al-Sham, to the northeastern parts of Baghdad. This comes at a time where the Iraqi air forces targeted the terrorist hideouts in the operations areas of Ninawa, Salahuddin and Samura and eliminated a large number of what is called the Islamic State of Iraq in Al-Sham that belongs to Al-Qaeda terrorist organization. Iraqi sources stressed that during this operation a large number of vehicles loaded with weapons were destroyed. The Dutch newspaper Die Press has said that the 2 terrorist organizations, the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant and Nusra Front, are the greatest threat on any secular government, pointing out that the increasing number of these terrorist organizations will inflame the Middle East region and later Europe. In an article published in its latest edition, Die Press added that these terrorist organizations that carry out suicidal attacks, perpetrate massacres and destroy the infrastructure in Syria and Iraq would attack Europe itself at some point. For its part, the Austrian newspaper Der Standard sharply criticized the American administration in tackling the Iraqi file since 2003 invasion because it all resulted in catastrophic security, political, social and economic situation and created the conditions that enabled these terrorist organizations to gain more ground. The newspaper added that Saudi, Qatari and Turkish regimes were still funding the terrorists and supplying them with money to destroy Syria and realize selfish aims in the name of God. The Health Ministry launched today a nationwide vaccination campaign against polio with the aim of making Syria a polio-free country as it was before. The campaign lasts until June 19th and targets children under 5 of age to give them vaccines against polio. The Ministry of Health stressed the importance of synchronizing efforts to ensure that every child is immunized against polio. The Health Ministry, in collaboration with WHO, has launched 7 polio immunization campaigns in all provinces between October 2013 and May 2014, with 4 new campaigns being planned for June, August, October and November. With the participation of a Syrian delegation, the works of the 77 Group Summit with the participation of China continued in Bolivia after being launched yesterday under the motto, A New World System. Opening the summit, Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro stressed the importance of supporting the Syrian people in their fight against terrorism and imperialism. We have to remember the Syrian people's steadfastness and struggle against the terrorists and their supporters, Maduro said. Venezuelan President Maduro also extended regards and saluted Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. Western countries blocked a UN Security Council resolution proposed by Russia to condemn the aggression on the Russian embassy in the Ukrainian capital, Kiev. A UN Security Council source asserted that Moscow distributed versions of a draft resolution to severely condemn the attack on the Russian embassy in Kiev, citing the heavy damage caused by the attack. Earlier, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov called on the Organization of Security and Cooperation in Europe to use all its potentials in order to prevent repeating such provocative acts against the Russian embassy. Every Every year on the 14th of June, countries around the world celebrate World Blood Donor Day. The event raises awareness of the need for blood products and also is held to thank the voluntary unpaid blood donors for their gifts, which save the lives of so many people. Syria has been commemorating the event, which for over 3 years of war against terrorism, with Syrians vying to organize blood donation campaigns through individual and civil initiatives to donate blood as a symbol of allegiance and respect to the Syrian Arab army. Ministry of Tourism, in cooperation with the Syrian Youth Organization, held the Buds of Syria Festival for Children in Tishreen Garden. Nearly 500 children from the Children of Martyrs and the orphanages visited the festival that was held by Besmet Shabab Syria and the Ministry of Tourism in implementation of a memorandum of understanding signed between both sides to hold festivals and touristic activities for children. The festival was attended by a number of Syrian actors, attracting a large number of visitors. With this, we end our news for today. Thank you for watching us. For more details about Syria and the region, you can always view this bulletin again on syriaonline.sy. God bless you and long live Syria.